And that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro. Like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Everybody knew him.
Yeah.
And amateurs.
One thing I can say, though, because, I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Tio can fight.
I'm telling you that. Tio can fight.
The boxing world was surprised after leaked sparring footage appeared to show Keyshawn Davis knocking out Shakur Stevenson. The clip drew attention to Davis' timing and overall skill, while also showing how intense top-level training sessions can be. Davis also mentioned that Teofimo Lopez is a strong opponent, explaining that he has watched both Stevenson and Lopez compete during their amateur careers. His comments suggest that while all the fighters have clear talent, the outcome in the ring still depends on preparation speed and smart strategy. DUCT.
Against Shakur playing out, because you want me to tell you the truth, like, this fight could have been the winner's bracket fight. In other words, they're jumping to it, but at the end of the era, it may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Keyshawn Davis spoke about his sparring experience with Shakur Stevenson, making it clear that it was never personal and was purely about competition. He shared that once they got into the ring, he struggled to land clean punches, while Stevenson was able to counter him effectively and consistently. Even with those challenges, he kept pushing forward, knowing that easing off could put him at a disadvantage. The tough session gave him greater respect for Stevenson's abilities and reminded him how important persistence and focus are in high-level boxing.
And they come. I'm confident. I'm knowing I'm about to go in here and beat them up, right? Man, I get in the ring, man. Why I cannot hit this man, right? I cannot hit him, but he touching me. So I was like, oh, this is different.
He different.
Like, he different. So I just keep, I'm 14, he's 16. I just keep going, I just keep going. So some getting through, some not, some getting through, some getting not. And I felt as if I was to step off the gas pedal, he was gonna get me. So I just had to keep going, you feel me? And I know he explained that a lot of times in interviews, like, that's why he respect me so much, because in that sparring right there, I didn't respect him at all. I was trying to dog him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro, like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Everybody.
Shakur Stevenson has been pushing through a demanding training camp, showing strong focus and commitment in every session. He approaches each workout with discipline, working to improve his technique, increase his speed, and build his stamina. His preparation goes beyond just the physical side, as he also studies his opponents, breaks down strategies, and mentally prepares for different fight situations. His camp is centered on consistency, accuracy, and constant improvement in every part of his performance. By maintaining this level of focus, Stevenson is aiming to step into the ring fully ready, confident, and in peak condition, prepared to carry out his plan and deliver his best performance.
Please, time away from my family. How you gonna beat me? Ain't no way you can beat me that way, bro. Why I keep saying I'm the best. Niggas don't want this shit more than me. I know it. I know it. I want this shit so bad. So bad. Shit easy, gang.
Easy, man.
Easy.
Always easy, man.
You already know.
Always easy, man.
It's supposed to be a sprint.
Let's go.
This ain't no sprint.
No, it's a job. Let's go.
Keyshawn Davis looked back on his long history with Shakur Stevenson, explaining that from the start their connection went beyond boxing and he has always seen Stevenson like a brother. Even with that close bond, a strong competitive rivalry formed between them, pushing both fighters to improve and test each other throughout every stage of their careers. This balance of friendship and competition played a major role in their development as they continued to learn from one another while aiming to reach higher levels in the sport. Keyshawn made it clear that their rivalry has always been built on mutual respect and a shared goal of achieving the very top in boxing.
It's family, bro. Like, I'm never, ever fighting Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. It's not even gonna feel right.
What were some of the experiences, like, with you guys growing up, like, as young men and young teenagers in Virginia? Like, what's some of those things that shaped you to know, like, he's my brother, man, I could never do that?
Yeah, the moment when I was like, all right, yeah, Shakur, I genuinely actually got real love for you was when I was going through my deep depression times. Even before I was going into the mental home, I used to tell my brother a lot. But then I started like backing off from my little brother because he was my little brother. I started talking to Shakur a lot about like how I was feeling and how I was thinking and what I was doing to myself. And Shakur was just giving me advice that I really like taking and like, damn, okay, I got you and stuff like that. And then I end up going to the mental home and, you know, like he calling me in there, checking up on me and stuff like that. I get out of the mental home, he pulling up on me, making sure I'm straight, making sure I get back in the gym, making sure I continue to do what I love. So
during an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Shakur Stevenson spoke openly about his upcoming fight with Teofimo Lopez. The rising fighter, known for his accuracy and ring awareness, addressed doubts about his readiness by showing strong confidence in his abilities, stating that Lopez has never faced someone at his level. He explained that this matchup will be different from anything Lopez has experienced, pointing to his speed, strategy, and ability to adapt as key factors that will challenge him. Stevenson made it clear that his focus is on the fight itself rather than the hype, showing a mindset built on preparation, execution, and the drive to reach the top. His comments reflected both belief in himself and a clear understanding of what is needed to handle an opponent with Lopez's power and reputation. He also emphasized staying true to his natural style, saying he will not change just to meet expectations or get drawn into unnecessary exchanges. Instead, he plans to fight with control, managing distance, timing, and pace to take advantage of any mistakes Lopez makes by staying composed and using his ring intelligence. Stevenson aims to control the fight from the very beginning. This approach shows his growth as a fighter and his focus on strategy over emotion, which is why he is seen as one of the smartest young boxers in the sport.
Cool. I mean, that's their opinion. Like, you know, they could say that. But I know he never fought nobody on my level. Like, I'm 1,000,000% sure that T.O. has never seen nobody as good as me in his life.
He's talking about, like, once he gets through you, then he wants Crawford, names like that. How do you think he would do against someone like Terrence at this point?
I think he gets knocked out.
Can't even hang with him.
Yeah, he's too little. Bud is too big for him.
Right. As far as skills, though, do you think he's on par with the likes of Terrence?
I'm not gonna say he's on a Terrence Crawford level of skills, but he's very skillful. He got a lot of things with him that puts him at a high level.
One thing that was interesting to me was it seemed like you were going to move on from Matchroom, but now Eddie Hearn is involved in this, and this is a Matchroom event. It seems like, I know it's a ring card too, but he's promoting it here in the United States. So what is the state of your relationship with Eddie and Matchroom at this point?
Eddie's my guy. I'm actually not signed to Matchroom, but he's my guy. I'm a big fan of Eddie Hearn, and nothing but respect to him. But I'm glad he's the promoter that's on this card. I'm glad to share the spotlight with his promotional company.
So if he's your guy, how come you're not signed to Matchroom?
I mean, it's just business. If it makes sense, then I will. You know, if it come down to it and that's what makes sense, then we'll do it. But right now, I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so are you just more of like your own man at this point? Your own entity?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Do you negotiate with the ring people, with Turkey? You just do that yourself?
No, me and my manager.
Bozy Ennis, a well-known boxing analyst and commentator, shared his view on the Stevenson versus Lopez matchup and delivered a clear warning to Teofimo Lopez, explaining that overlooking Shakur Stevenson would be a serious mistake. He pointed out that Stevenson's speed is not just about raw quickness, but serves as a key weapon that helps him control exchanges, avoid incoming shots, and set up accurate counters. Ennis also stressed that fighters who depend only on power without paying attention to timing and movement often struggle against someone like Stevenson. He added that Lopez needs to fully respect what Stevenson brings to the ring because his blend of sharp thinking and speed creates a difficult and dangerous challenge for any opponent.
Pick them apart. And I gotta tell everybody that Whitcomb is real athletic too. Teofimo. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight. You know what I mean? People think, a lot of people say it's gonna be easy and all. Nah. Teofimo can punch and he can box. And like I said, he's real athletic. So, you know what I mean? That'll make it a little difficult right there. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of people going back and forth with it. Some people think Teo got the advantage because of the weight and that he's athletic and explosive. Some people say Shakur is the better boxer.
Yes.
Right? How you see that fight ending?
Well, they saying, they've got the weight and all that. I see Shakur boxing big guys, light heavyweights and all that stuff. It's like, they box heavyweights and put heavyweights down. You know what I mean? I think that's the right move for him. You know what I mean? Get up, and I think he can really do good at that weight.
This isn't a stoppage.
I'm looking at a decision, not a stoppage. But then all according how Teo come in. Teo come at him. You know what I mean? He gonna run into some shots. It might be over. You know what I mean?
Now, you always tell me it's the shot that you don't see coming.
That's it.
That power is speed.
Right.
So, could it be a situation where people underestimate Shakur's punching power?
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. So, I think he can punch. It's just, like I said, speed is power. Not them guys, muscle bound guys come in and they talking about, he can punch and all that. Like I just got finished saying, like you just got finished saying, matter of fact, the punch that you don't see knocks him out. And they always say, man, I didn't see that punch coming.
Dan Rafael, a longtime boxing journalist, shared his view on the matchup by focusing on the strong careers and abilities of both fighters. He explained that the fight represents a contrast between Stevenson's technical skill and Lopez's explosive power. Rafael noted that Lopez has the ability to shift a fight instantly with one punch, while also recognizing Stevenson's disciplined style, ring awareness, and defensive control. He added that this mix of different strengths makes the fight especially interesting, as each fighter has qualities that could influence the result depending on how the action unfolds.
Teofimo has been a bona fide world champion in 2 divisions. He was the champion at lightweight. Had most of the belts, defeated Lomachenko. He did suffer the upset loss to Kambosos. There were some physical issues there that we didn't know about going into the fight, not to make excuses for him. But regardless, he came back and even though maybe he didn't shine and scintillate maybe in some of those fights after that, when it came time to step up and take on the champ, which was Josh Taylor, he shined in that fight. So when Teofimo is matched, in a big time opponent, he's delivered, and he's done it, a number of times. And, he looked really good against Taylor. And Shakur, by the way, similar thing. He's been flawless through his career. He may be not the most exciting at times, but Shakur Stevenson gets the job done. He has won titles from featherweight up to lightweight. When his back was against the wall, quote unquote, and everybody had big expectations, and he had a lot of pressure on him not to make it a boring fight and all that kind of business. What did he do in his last fight against William Zepeda? He stood in the pocket and he fought the guy, and he won handily. He shut him out, basically. He won like 10 rounds to 2. I mean, he fought a unification fight against Oscar Valdez, a fighter that, even though he might have been favored, thought maybe Oscar could do some damage because he was a good puncher and had a great amateur background and a great chin and all those types of things. And he went out there and he routed him also. I mean, so, these are 2 of the best young elite fighters in boxing. And their fight has been talked about for a long time. They spent most of their careers together at Top Rank, which was a fight. If you ever ask Bob Arum, he'll tell you that was a fight that Top Rank, down the road had their eye on at some point when they were going to be, closer in weight to each other. Because obviously Teofimo had started off, a little bit heavier than Shakur, but they would eventually catch up to each other. They're both Olympians, by the way. Teofimo he's American, but he fought for his parents' country of Honduras in that same Olympic Games. It was Shakur Stevenson winning a silver medal for the United States. I mean, they have all kinds of accomplishment. I do think they have a healthy respect for each other. They know each other for all the years being at Top Rank events together. They fought on the same undercard twice when the main event was Terrence Crawford who was obviously very close to Shakur, but Teofimo was on those shows also. So, and they're doing it in the right place. This is not a fight they're taking to a place that doesn't make sense. All respect to the big matches they do in Saudi Arabia, but this is the kind of fight that belonged in America. And it didn't belong in Las Vegas. It belongs in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Teofimo is from Brooklyn. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey, which is a 5-minute train ride from Midtown Manhattan. I mean, it's got everything you want to see. The Garden hasn't had a lot of big fights in the main arena over the last few years. The last one they had was the third fight between Katie Taylor and Serrano. But before that, it'd been, a couple years, I think, since they had a main arena fight. So